Transcend fans, welcome back to another edition of Transcend Labs, the behind-the-scenes look at the creative process that goes into the making of music for TransistorSandwich.com. This week, it's pretty low-key. I didn't have a huge plan. I went out and took a look at Looperman.com. I wanted to see what people have been dropping on the loops and samples library there, because I often find a lot of cool inspiration there. I took a step through the EDM category today. Basically, I just looked for drums. So I did find a cool drum loop, but then I thought, oh, let's take a look at some of the basses. Maybe there's a cool bass line in there that might inspire me.
Because you know I'm all about that bass.
Well, I found something that was in the bass category under EDM, but it's not a bass. It was like one of those 1990s organ sounds. And I thought, I might be able to build something off of that. It inspired me. That's all I was looking for. It was just a little inspiration, kind of give me a kick in the pants to get a song going. So, with all that being said, let's get right into it. Let us begin, shall we? I did say that I found a drum loop that I wanted to build from by TimRedGamerYT. Here's what it sounds like. Let's drag that into a track. Let's go up here, import audio file, go to our Looperman folder, 0378673. It's going to be way down here, right? There it is. Oh, it's the very last one. Yeah. Let's import that as an audio sequence so that I can change the tempo and it will follow. So let's loop that out to, let me see. Let's find a spot here. That's 2 minutes. That's 2.5 minutes. Let's make this a short tune. I don't do too many short tunes.
Don't want no short.
There, 3.5 minutes. That sounds good. So let's drag that out to 3.5 minutes. Right about there. You know what? I think I'm gonna modify it a little bit. Let's undo that dragging out, because at the end of the loop, there's like a saucer that has been dropped on the counter. But what I want to do is I want to make this loop a little longer, only because I think that that sound is going to get annoying if it's repeating too often. What I can do is just do a split on it, and I'll loop this first part out, maybe 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars of the first part of the loop. Yeah, there. Not quite as repetitive as what it was. Can I combine those? Merge selected sequence clips. I like it. So now, this, oh, wait, if I go into edit mode, yeah, set loop end. There we go. Now if I drag that out, there we go.
There we go.
Now, where was that 3.5 minute mark? Ends at bar 122. So let's drag that out to bar 122. It'd be nice if it would scroll if I was to drag past the visible point.
Why doesn't it work?
Well, actually, it has to end on the right beat. Yeah, so it's going to be 121, actually. So 3 minutes and 28 seconds. So we've got our drum loop. Let's label that as drum loop and give it a color. There we go. Lovely. Now let me show you what that bass line was like. It's a house bass. It says house bass. I don't know what the first part is. Cufool? It's very 90s, like late 90s. I think that's kind of catchy. Let's pull that in as a loop as well. Import audio file. That's going to be right there. So we'll have to import that as an audio sequence as well so that it matches the same beats per minute. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's repeat that 4 times, I think. Now, I'm going to start it off with that, actually, with no drums. But I'm not going to keep it going. It's going to get like That's gonna get really repetitive. Let's label this as house bass. Let's do an instrument track here and go into the basses provided by MuLab. Let's try it. Now, but it's going to be doing something a little different. I mean, it's going to follow the same basic line, but I'm going to pull it down and insert a bass, an ARP, a blue ARP. Let's go with some bass ARPs here. A techno bass ARP. Oh yeah, actually, that one's fine. It needs something else though. I wonder if I could find a similar organ to that. Is there something organy in here? Is organy a word?
Is that a word?
Oh, a clean B3, that could work. Percussion or percussive organ. Okay, yeah, I think that's gonna work. And we want it to be doing the same ARP. So we'll put that in there and go in and arrange our modules so that I can add a patch point and plug that patch point into both of those sounds so we trigger them both at the same time. So let's rename this as bass ARP, add a track here and point it to that patch point. Bass ARP, color that one. There we go. So now, yeah, I like where that's going. It still feels like it's missing a tone. So maybe I can add a third layer in there. I can add as many layers as I want. Well, up to a point.
Don't overdo it.
Let's add another instrument track and take another look at organs. Because I think maybe that B3 clean was an... Yeah, like that seems like it would offer that mid-tone. Let's come into our routing here and plug this into there as well. Let's try this. Oh yeah, that's better. Let's record that in. Okay, so that's a nice long pattern. I think I can work with that. Bring the master down a little bit. It's a bit hot. It's getting a bit hot in there.
It's getting hot in here.
Let's do a submix for that bass as well. Bass ARP submix. That way I can control all of the basses in one shot. All three of them all at once.
All together now.
Okay, so that whole thing I'll repeat at least once. And then I'm thinking it would break down into the original loop. And then I'm thinking it would be good to come into the second half of that. So I'm thinking, let's do a split there. Then we'll come back into it there. And then let's take a copy of this and drop it right afterwards. And then we'll end off with the original. Look, it was made to fit. Like a glove. Now, I need to come up with some stuff to go with it. Okay, just before the drums kick in, I'm going to need a reverse cymbal. And I know I have one in my sample library. So let's go to import audio file, SFX. Yeah, reverse crash cymbal. Let's pull that in as an audio stream and align it. It's in the wrong spot. Let's do this. Okay, yeah, that works. Let's give that a color. And I'm going to want that to repeat further down the line where that loop comes back in. And also, I think I'm going to do a break here. Let's do a split there and a split there. Take that section out. I'm going to replace it with some hi-hats. So let's add an instrument track here. I'm going to try to tap in a sequence. Something like... Oops, I put that one in the wrong spot. And how is this going to sound? Oh, actually, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
And then those hi-hats, when they stop there, it drops out too much. But I was thinking in the 909, yeah, there's a shaker. Shaker, right there. It's a lot of shaking, whole lot of shaking going on. Let's see if that works. Oh yeah. And the shaker might be a little too hot there, but I don't want to pull the channel down. The channel is at the right level for the other part, so I'll just pull down the velocity. Ah, that's better. And I think a drum roll would be cool there too, yeah? Digga-digga. Yeah, I think just a quick little digga-digga. That's how I describe toms. So that means I need to add a sub track, and it's just going to be, let's just do a MIDI sequence here. It's like the last 4/16. Oh, they start on C3s. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah! Except kind of need a crash there too, though. Though, don't we? Let's do an E3. Yeah. Okay, we've got some stuff here.
The stuff.
This is basically just the bed track right now. I have yet to add everything else. So I'm thinking like a disco strings sound. Bear with me.
Oh, it's so cheesy.
It won't be as cheesy as it sounds, or it might be, and that could be cool. It's good to be retro sometimes. Okay, I think I need it to be like the tight notes, I think need to be tighter. So I'm just gonna kind of trim them up and in some cases extend them. Feel like that second last note should be a little tighter. Let's just do 30-second notes. There's gotta be something else to go with that though. It's It's a little too empty. I'm thinking, I'm just kind of rolling around some ideas in my brain, and I'm thinking of calling upon like Analog Lab to see if there's like a long pad can kind of fill in some of the emptiness. Oh, that one might work. It feels lonely. It needs to be blended with something. So let's call in another Analog Lab with another pad, the other pad that I was liking, but it was missing something. I think the two of them together will make it not feel like it's missing something. Yeah. So if I had the two of those together, so let's go into our module setup here and add a patch point, utilities, patch point, and point it at, oh, I forgot to label them. I know which ones they are. It's that one and that one. We'll rename this as analog pads. And then we'll add a track down here to control them. Point those to the analog pads. And I'll want to do a submix on those. So pads submix. And of course, point those in the correct direction, like so. Yeah, I think the two of those work very nicely together.
They work together.
I like it. So let's try this. Excellent. So for that bridge part, I'm thinking a cool little ARP would sound nice in there. So let's find one. Surge XT, I think, has some tight ARPs. Does it? Yeah, sequences. No. Oh my goodness. Oh, I like that. Distorted glassy sequence. That is odd enough to sound odd. But I think I want to mix it with another because there was another one that I came across that I thought might sound good. Oh yeah, the barrelish. What would that sound like? The two of those together. Let's find out. Let's go in here and plug in a patch point. Utilities. Patch point, and we'll call this bridge ARP. Bridge ARP, and point it to both those Surge XT instruments. There we go. And let's give them a submix because they're probably going to be too hot.
That thing is hot. Hey!
So this is the bridge ARP submix, and send the outputs like so. But let's see what they sound. Oh, I don't even have a control track for them yet. Let's do that. Add track, choose target module, and this is the bridge ARP. Yeah! I like it. Okay, let's record that in. Yeah, that works for me. Let's give it a color. And I think I'll bring the strings in there to accompany that at that part as well. Okay, and then I'm going to do my riser at the end. Let's add an audio track here so I can pull in an audio file from one of these things. Reverse white noise thingy. That might be interesting right at the end because it's a variation on the reverse symbol. Oop, that's too far. Hold on. Let's not do that by bar. Let's do it by beat, which is still not quite right. I can use that. So that's the reverse white noise. Give it a color. But I still want my long riser, and I just haven't found it.
Where did it go?
Other SFX. Oh, here we go. Maybe let's do it as a pitched sample. Let's see if it blends. Will it blend? Wow, that works quite well, actually. Now I just need a crash here, but maybe not a crash, maybe iceberg crash. Another audio track here, and import the iceberg crash, which I think is in effects. Is it? No, it is cinematic elements, effects. Yes. Do it as a pitch sample so I can pitch it up. Okay, so that's good.
It's good.
I think I've got a tune. Yeah, let's take a listen to it from start to finish and see how this tune worked out. All right. I think that works well. I mean, I made a couple of adjustments as it was going along, and other than that, I think everything else is fine. Thank you to anyone who dropped on in to check out this behind the scenes look at the creative process. Don't forget that these tunes are free to play anywhere you wish. You can download them and use them in your own projects, or you can just go to transistorsandwich.com and click on the audio player there and play them, stream them directly from the website, and have them playing in the background on your live stream if you want. You won't get hit with a copyright ding. Until next time, later taters.